There are various types of all-band wire antennas. And by that I mean it covers 80 through 10 meters, or even 160 through 10 meters. Now the most popular now is the all-band end-fed half-wave. Then there's the random length wire, the classic ladder line fed doublet, the off-center fed, and the clever end-fed off-center fed. Now, all these antennas can be made to work 80 through 10, but work and work well are two different things. The bottom line is that on the higher bands, most of these antennas suffer from poor current distribution and chaotic lobes shooting off in every direction and good takeoff angles for working DX. There's what we call the 2.5 wavelength rule. Below 2.5 wavelengths for a given band, a current distribution along the wire is fairly orderly and patterns of radiation stay useful. Now beyond that, beyond 2.5 wavelengths, you have many current maximums on the line, which creates many lobes with haphazard takeoff angles and reduced gain for DX. Consider the end-fed long wire with a 9-to-1 unnin. Now that antenna can be matched across many bands, but the choice of length is a compromise. A 164-foot wire is reasonable up to 30 meters, but on 20 through 10, the lobes become irregular and DX angles suffer. If you make the wire shorter, that'll help on the higher bands, but then low band performance suffers. Out of all these single wire antennas, the best trade-off is the end-fed off-center fed, which unfortunately is not very popular. I'm sure many hams have never heard of it, but it is the least compromised choice for 80 through 10 meters for a single wire antenna. It has smoother impedance behavior and better radiation efficiency than the typical 80 through 10 end-fed half-wave that so many hams now use. All right, what is the end-fed off-center fed? Well, let's look at the RF.Guru website here. Now, it might look like an end-fed half-wave, but it isn't. Here you have a 4-to-1 unnin, not a 49-to-1. There's your flat-top wire, which can also be a sloper and a couple of other configurations, which I'll show in just a minute. Here's your coax cable down to a choke, and then another choke before the coax enters the shack. Now here's the key. This coax line, its shield is acting as the other part of the antenna, the other half, the counterpoise. Now, for the 80 through 10 meter version, this radiating wire is 100 feet. Now, compare that to the 80-10 end-fed half-wave, where the wire is 130 feet, so it takes up more room and is not as good as this antenna. Instead of a lossy 49-to-1 transformer, you have a very efficient 4-to-1 transformer. And you can even configure it as an inverted L here with the end of the antenna hanging down like this for even less room, and for even less room than that, the inverted U. Now, what about the ladder line fed doublet? We haven't talked about that yet. Well, it's not a single wire antenna, but is the most efficient out of all these wire antennas. A center fed doublet with ladder line is hard to beat. The 80 through 10 meter doublet has well-behaved patterns and good efficiency across 80 through 10. If you want to work 160, a 160 through 40 meter doublet is recommended for best low band performance. So, the best single wire multi-band performer is the end-fed off-center fed. It requires less space than the end-fed half-wave, and it's just a better antenna. So why is the end-fed half-wave so popular? One word: marketing. But the best multi-band wire antenna is still the old ladder line fed doublet, which has been around for how long? 100 years? It's not a single wire, but significantly better efficiency across the spectrum. Consider subscribing to this channel, ring the bell for updates, and 73.